guys, it's Ostomonday, and as it's IBD Awareness Month, the month of May, I wanted to talk a little bit about the reasons why I have an ostomy. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and basically that means that my immune system is attacking my own body, specifically the digestive system. As a result, my bowel became really weakened. I lost a lot of weight. It was really uncomfortable to go to the toilet. I didn't want to eat because it hurt. Like, as soon as you sort of ate, it kind of, when it was digesting, it was just really painful, really sore, and it was just a horrendous time. The first symptoms I got were probably at university, and I started to lose a lot of weight. And at first I thought it was just like a student lifestyle diet that I was on, but it turned out that I was losing a lot of weight really quickly, like in a really unhealthy way. So that's when I kind of realised something was wrong, but I was too kind of embarrassed to go to my doctor about it or tell anyone about it, so I kind of just ignored it and hoped it would go away. That was a mistake. Then I was starting to get the pains, so it was like kind of like a really bad period pain, if you know what I mean, like a really sort of dull, like a ripping kind of pain. I can't really explain it. It's, you kind of know when you feel it, but it's probably the closest I can sort of describe it is probably like a period pain. Then one of the next symptoms, and I'm sorry that this is not particularly pleasant, but I noticed that every time I went to the toilet when I had a bowel movement, things weren't coming out the usual way. And when I really knew that there was something wrong was when something came out exactly the same as it went in. But again, I didn't want to talk about it. I was too embarrassed to go to my doctor about it, so I just ignored it. After university, I was really skinny, but I kind of liked it in a way because I'd been kind of overweight during my teens, and I kind of thought this was like my chance to be thin and glamorous. But looking back, I know how unhealthy I was, but at the time I just thought I was like slim, but really I was actually quite skinny, and you could tell I was ill because I just didn't look very pleasant. I was going through a lot of stressful things as well. I'd finished university, so I was missing all my friends from uni. I'd gone back to work full time because I'd just like done summer jobs, but now I was full time, so work was kind of stressful. There was also a risk of redundancies as well. I was coming out of a really kind of crappy breakup. I was moving house to be nearer work, so that was a big stressful thing, like my first ever house on my own, mortgage, finances, budget, blah, blah, blah. It was all really scary stuff. So there were a lot of things going on in my head, and basically stress and Crohn's disease, plus the fact that I smoked as well. All these factors for me being unhealthy and just being completely stressed out, and clearly my immune system was very low with being stressed out and stuff, that Crohn's disease decided to flare up, and it flared massively. And this was still before I'd been diagnosed. It was just me knowing that I had some issues. As soon as it flared up, I lost even more weight. I was really like in a lot of pain. I had to go on lots of painkillers, and that's the point when my mum dragged me to the doctors and made me go for a checkup, and I had to tell them everything, and I felt really like embarrassed, but it was at the point where I was in so much pain that I just had to tell them, and I didn't care about being embarrassed anymore because I was in so much pain. After that, I had loads of tests, MRI scans, ultrasound, CT scans, blood tests, loads of stuff. And eventually I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease and put on some steroids, which made my face really round, and it cleared my skin up lovely. I was on azathioprine, which is an immunosuppressant drug, and I was on quite a high dose of that. And it was basically to try and calm my immune system down to stop the disease flaring so much, and kind of give my bowel a bit of a rest, because it was at this point where my colon was really ulcerated. You know how you get like an ulcer in your mouth, and every time you catch it it's really sore, but imagine that all the way along your intestine, and obviously every time you eat the food would rub against it, and it would just be really sore, and it would bleed and all that kind of stuff. Then I had a colonoscopy just to have a see of exactly how bad it had got, and that was really painful, and it wasn't supposed to be that painful, but mine was, and now I know why. It's because my colon perforated, and I don't know if it was during that process or not, but I kind of think it was. It must have been, because it was so painful. They didn't know they'd perforated the bowel. I didn't know I had a perforated bowel. I went home still feeling really ill. They put me on this stuff called Modulin, which is by Nestle, but it's like you know, like Slimfast and stuff. It's like replacement meals, but it's liquid, pretty much like that, but really high calories, to try and get my like weight up because I was really like underweight, but also to get the nutrients in and to kind of give my bowel a bit of a rest, so it's not having food as such, it was having like liquid all the time. That was horrible, that was disgusting, and it was adding to the stress of the fact that I was ill, which was making the Crohn's worse. And then eventually I started to get a pain in my hip, and I went to my GP and he said that it sounded like a psoas abscess, and then after an MRI scan that was confirmed that my colon had perforated, and then my body cavity was collecting what should be going out of my body as waste was actually just collecting in my body cavity. Nice. I was then told I had to have ostomy surgery, so I cried, and then I was told on the Friday that I had to have the surgery, and then by the Sunday I'd had it done. It was a very quick turnaround. Didn't quite get my head around it at first, but then eventually, once I started feeling better, once I started gaining weight, once I wasn't in so much pain, I realised that it was a good thing, but it took me a long time to adjust. Since my surgery, however, I've not had any Crohn's-y pain, meaning that I seem to be in remission, but they've kept me on some azathioprine, the immunosuppressant drug, to try and keep that calm down. So far it's working. So since then, that was like 4 years ago, and since then I've not had a flare-up, touch wood. A while ago I did a Draw My Life Crohn's disease special, which I'll also link below, because that was actually quite fun to do. I've not had the most interesting life other than the Crohn's disease and ostomy side of it, so I kind of skimmed the rest of my life and just went straight for that bit. So that's why I only focused on that for my Draw My Life. So yeah, go and check that out as well. But I hope that explains it a bit, and I hope that helps raise a bit of awareness of the symptoms I had and the fact that you shouldn't feel embarrassed to go to your doctor. You shouldn't let it keep going and going and hoping that it'll go away, because it won't. Your body's obviously telling you something is wrong and you need to get it sorted. So do not be like me and leave it to the last minute, to the point where it could try and kill you. Make sure you go to your doctor. That's what they're there for. They're there for your well-being, and they're there to treat anything that needs treating. So make sure you please go to your doctor if you had any symptoms like mine, any weight loss that's unexpected. You know, if you're not dieting but you're losing a lot of weight, definitely go and speak to your doctor about it. If you have any pain anywhere, not just abdomen related, but just anywhere, go to the doctor. If you are noticing any blood in your stool, any weird sort of changes in your bowel movements, changes in frequency, if there's one piece of advice I could give you from my experience, to go to your doctor immediately. Only if there's something wrong, not just for like a day out. I mean, like if there's actually something wrong. I hope you found this helpful, and if you're suffering with IBD, you have my sympathy. I know exactly what you're going through, and just know that it will get better, whether it's through, you know, drug treatment or whether you have to go through surgery. I just hope that it gets better for you, and there is a load of support out there. I'll leave some links to, you know, some online communities and some like information about IBD as well. And yeah, just I hope things get better for you. That's it for this video. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.